Yo, how's it going everyone? GBG here. So Squareenix actually invited us to an event that took place back in January, and it was a blast. There was a Buster Sword on site. There was Barrett's minigun on site too, like that machine gun that he has in his arm that you could have worn, but I unfortunately couldn't get a picture because I was just too busy trying to play the game, and I really wanted to make the most out of it because I wanted to get some good combat footage for this specific recording as well. So because of that, I didn't get to take a picture with the Buster Sword, and I had my vest ready to show my guns too, man. But maybe next time. How's it going everyone? GBG here, and in today's video we're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's newly improved combat system and how it has innovated new mechanics from its prequel counterpart. So, as some of you may know, Tifa Lockhart was my favorite member of the team in the previous game due to her huge personality, but also how agile she was in the game. No matter what attack she did, you were always able to slide or dash out of the animations 99% of the times, unless it's a limit break attack that triggers a whole cinematic attack, as you know. Do you guys remember the Yuffie DLC? Well, it seems the developers have taken notes of what we really enjoyed from the Yuffie DLC, which was of course the enhanced combat system alongside the synergetic or synergy attacks she had with her partner, and implemented those same mechanics into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but with a little more sauce. In other words, customizations. Depending on your style of gameplay, you can choose how each of your synergized attacks with your chosen party is executed. For example, Cloud and Aerith can team up and do synergized attacks, and with this, Cloud's Buster Sword will release energized wind attacks imbued by Aerith's magic, when she's in the team of course. This will differ with all party members, so if you had Tifa instead of this attack, you would of course then have something completely different. Instead of energized wind attacks, you'd get something like a combo attack by the two parties. This completely changes, by the way, with each and every single member of the team. We had 4 hours with the game during the event, which felt like 5 minutes to me because I spent most of my time cracking in with the combat system so I could kind of get a feel of how it actually truly works. And of course I tried to juggle enemies too. That was the main focus. But for the most part, I was trying to understand it so I could break it down for you guys. One big change that they did for Cloud that I absolutely love is his agility. In case you have not noticed already, he also has air combos. Yes, Cloud now has air combos. I think nobody had air combos other than the fact that Yuffie had air combos in the DLC. But Tifa, not so much. She had an attack which just threw her everywhere on the screen. I can't remember the name, but she would just dash and hit everything in like zigzags and up and down, but that wasn't really an air combo. I haven't really played with her in this build of the game because I wanted to just focus on Cloud and get a feel of how he works before I went ahead and moved on with other characters, but I didn't really have that much time. I really like to dig into the mechanics of each character and learn how to use them. That's what I do, that's what I'm good at. So with Cloud, for the most part, his agility and the fact that the Punisher mode just feels so good now. You can just parry, stance change, guard cancel, in and out of combat, just like it feels superb, guys. It feels amazing. So I am really excited for you guys that are about to witness and play for yourselves, because hopefully you will be getting a demo after this PlayStation State of Play, which we are currently assisting, and then you guys are going to be seeing this video going live. So as I mentioned earlier, my main focus during the event was to try and get a feel of the combat and also how to juggle enemies, and it seems Cloud needs a little bit more work. For the most part, you're going to need to change from operator mode to Punisher mode very often. Mid-air can be done too, and this will then throw you down onto the floor, so you can do like a sledgehammer attack to the floor with the enemy whilst they're mid-air. And there are some immovable enemies that you cannot juggle. For example, these big beasts over here, you just can't juggle them, and also they tend to just have super armor, so you can't really flinch them. So for these guys, for the most part, you're going to want to just learn to parry them and stagger them as quick as possible and just make quick work of them by dealing as much damage as possible as or when they get staggered. And that's it really for these guys. But for the smaller enemies, we definitely gonna want to learn how to juggle and keep them mid-air so we can style on them. That is the sole purpose of this channel. Styling on our enemies with sauce from start to finish. Another type of enemy that I came up across during my time in the event that I really despised were these meerkat looking hedgehogs that you can't even launch. They are super small, but because they dig a hole on the floor and go under and hide and all this nonsense, you just can't touch them. It's so annoying. But for the most part, like I said before with the other brute or beast enemies, you're gonna want to just stagger them quickly as possible and assess the enemy type so you know exactly what their weaknesses are and stagger them as quick as possible and then just kill them, and that's it, and move on. Don't be like me trying to juggle everything you see, because not all of them are going to be able to do that, okay? Let's analyze this next clip. As you may have already noticed, I was already in Punisher mode. So what I did is dodge into the enemy, and then after a few consecutive hits, Cloud will then push the enemy in the air and start that juggle combo state, which is good to keep enemies airborne. Very, very good. But if you're on the ground, what happens is after a few hits whilst you're in Punisher mode, after a dodge by the way, you will then put the enemy in the air. And if you're mid-air already, the first hit on that Punisher mode will be an air launcher. So enemies will be put in the air after the first hit. And remember, if you press triangle to change it to operator mode, this will put Cloud on the ground. It'll make Cloud come down crashing with an attack, and it looks beautiful. Moving on from all the combat jazz stuff that I am really excited about, comes in the exploration and the open world aspect of the game. As you know, there will be hundreds of hours spent in this game trying to reach absolute completion. If you are going for a platinum run, I fear you're going to need to use a chocobo a lot, because the map in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is absolutely colossal. I personally will scour these lands basically on foot, just because I'm gonna try and trigger some battles so I can learn, but I think the battles can also trigger even if you're on a chocobo. And matter of fact, I think you can even attack them whilst in the chocobo. I can't remember very well, but we'll see. The game is almost here. It's only a matter of time before we get the game now. And also we can even try that on the demo, since we're getting that any minute now after the state of play. So here's a glimpse of just how vast the open world in this game truly is. It excites me. I love spending my time in video games in which you can explore the world and perhaps come through or come to an encounter that's going to be really hard, or perhaps find a super rare item or anything as such to just give the game a little bit more longevity. I hate just completing games within 7 to 8 hours and then being done with them. Although they could be good story-wise, still that's not the point. I want to make my money's worth by having some side content to do. I mean, wouldn't you agree? As long as they are not repetitive and boring to do, I think everyone would be on the same boat on this one. We'd all love some side content that is engaging, fun, and cool. And with that, I bring you to the end of this video, as I have spoken a lot. I think my next video will be solemnly focused on gameplay, so like all the combat sections I've had and that I was able to capture, so you guys can get a feel on the combat a little bit more. And also, of course, the demo will be out soon, so perhaps you won't even need that. But if you guys would like to see that still, do let me know in the comment down below. And I'd like to say once again, thank you so much, Squareenix, for this, as I owe you my freaking love, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Ria. Thank you, Ibs. And thank you, Melissa, for inviting us to the event. And I hope to see you guys again soon. And happy launching the game. Cannot wait. Super excited. And hope you guys enjoy the game too, man, as I did. So, see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.